I thought fixing my emotions was enough. I thought once I controlled myself, everything would fall into place. And for a while, it actually worked. I stopped revenge trading. I stopped chasing setups. I became more patient, more disciplined, but something still felt off. Some days, I traded perfectly. Other days, I didn't. Same strategy, same market, same rules, different results. And that confused me, because I already fixed the biggest problem, right? So why was I still inconsistent? That question bothered me, because inconsistency is dangerous. It makes you doubt yourself. One day you feel like you're improving. The next day, you feel like you're back to zero. And that's exhausting, not just mentally, but emotionally, because you don't know which version of you will show up, the disciplined one or the emotional one. And that's when I realized something important. I didn't have a system, not a strategy, a system, a routine, something I could follow, no matter how I felt. Because that was the real problem. I was relying on how I felt to decide how I traded. And feelings are not consistent. Some days you're focused. Some days you're distracted. Some days you're calm. Some days you're not. And if your trading depends on that, your results will always be unstable. So I decided to test something. For 30 days, I would follow the same routine. Every single day, no exceptions, no adjustments, just consistency. At first, it felt unnecessary, almost boring, because it wasn't about finding better trades. It was about controlling my behavior. But I committed to it, because I was tired of guessing, tired of relying on motivation, tired of being inconsistent. So this is what I did. Every day, before I even looked at the charts, I checked myself, not the market, myself. I asked simple questions. Am I calm? Am I focused? Am I thinking clearly? Because if the answer was no, I didn't trade. That was the first rule. And it sounds simple, but it's not. Because sometimes, you want to trade anyway. You feel like you'll miss something. You feel like you need to be active. But that's exactly when you shouldn't trade. That was the first part of my routine. Then came the second part. When I was actually in the charts, I stopped looking for trades and started waiting for them. There's a difference. Looking for trades means forcing opportunities. Waiting means being selective. And I only allowed myself to take trades that match my rules. No exceptions. No, this looks close enough. No, I'll just try this one. If it didn't meet my criteria, I didn't take it. And that was hard, because sometimes there were no trades. And doing nothing feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're wasting time. But I started to understand something. Not trading is also a decision, a good one. Then came the third part. After trading, this was the part one used to ignore. I didn't review my trades before. I just moved on. Win or lose. Next trade. But now, I slowed down. And I looked back. Not at the market. At myself. Why did I take that trade? Was I calm? Did I follow my rules? Or did I break them? Because the result doesn't matter. You can win a bad trade and lose a good one. So I stopped judging outcomes and started judging behavior. That changed everything. Because now, I could actually improve. Not guess. Improve. At first, I kept failing. I broke my own routine. More than I expected. Some days I skipped the mindset check. Some days I forced trades. Some days I didn't review anything. And those days always showed in my results. That's when it became clear. The routine wasn't optional. It was necessary. Because without it, I went back to old habits. Slowly, day by day, it became easier. Not perfect, but easier. The pauses became natural. The discipline became automatic. The decisions became clearer. And something interesting happened. My results didn't explode. They didn't suddenly skyrocket. But they stabilized. And that was better. Because stability is what keeps you in the game. Not lucky wins. Not big trades. Consistency. That's what matters. I wasn't making more trades. I was making better ones. I wasn't reacting anymore. I was following a process. And that's the difference between guessing and trading. Because guessing depends on how you feel. Trading depends on structure. And structure removes chaos. That's what I was missing. Not knowledge. Not strategy. Structure. And once I had that, everything felt different. Calmer. Slower. More controlled. I stopped checking charts every second. I stopped forcing trades. I stopped needing action. And that's when I realized something important. Trading is not about doing more. It's about doing less. But doing it right. That's the real shift. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes repetition. It takes awareness. But once it clicks, you don't go back. Because you see the difference between chaos and control, and you choose control every time. So if you feel inconsistent right now, if some days you're good and some days you're not, it's not your strategy, it's your lack of structure. And once you fix that, everything else becomes easier. Not easy, but easier. Because now, you're not relying on motivation. You're relying on a system. And systems don't depend on feelings. They depend on consistency. That's what changed for me. Not the market, not the strategy, me, and the way I approach trading. And that made all the difference. Because in trading, success is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And consistency starts with what you do every day, not what you do once. So the question is, do you have a routine? Or are you still guessing? Because that answer will decide everything.